Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Hughes House podcast. This is episode 2. I'm here with my good friend Corey Ulysses Holt.
Yes, that is that.
That's actually not his middle name.
That is my middle name.
Full name this way.
That's right.
Just straight for the government. Man.
Absolutely. We gotta let the people know. Well, he's gonna tell us a little bit about bar etiquette tonight. So for those of you who do not know Corey, I am going to let him introduce himself. Tell the good folks at home who you are, what you do.
My name's Corey, as you guys figured that out.
Ulysses.
Ulysses. And I am a very bad bartender.
I don't know if he's very bad. I would give him I think we give him 4.5 out of 10. You've given me some decent beer.
I mean, I guess you ordered Jack and Coke.
Some heavy Jack with a little Coke.
Yeah. There's only 2 days in the year that is okay to drink Jack Daniels, and that's Lemmy's birthday and Lemmy's death day. Other than that, get rid of it.
Well, first off, I love Jack and Cokes. They will always be my favorite drink. It's interesting because I started drinking E&J and Dr. Pepper. I vaguely remember being hanging out with my stoner friends in high school, and we would go to Circle K. And for those of you who don't have Circle K's where you're at, they have a very limited selection of alcohol. So one of the only alcohols that they have is E&J. It's a brandy, right? I'm pretty sure it's a brandy. Yeah. And so we would get our friend that was over 21 would buy the brandy, and then we'd all get Polar Pops, and I would get Dr. Pepper.
Dude, that's the most Indiana shit
We'd go to the parking lot. We'd pour out about a third of the fucking Polar Pop. Pop that fucking E&J open, and we just ride around a Friday night sipping E&J and Dr. Pepper out of a Polar Pop cup.
And then you graduated to Tennessee whiskey.
That's right. So the bar was very low to start.
And we live in Kentucky now.
I do live in Kentucky now. No. It's Jack for me. So, all right. So you've been bartending. How long have you been bartending?
A little while. I actually started bartending at the beginning of COVID.
Okay. And how did you get into bartending?
I was a bouncer first.
Okay. Bouncer at...
I was a bouncer at a couple different places.
Okay. All right. So let's start there. How'd you get started bouncing?
I was a regular at a dive bar. For
if you're local, you know which dive bar, but that's okay.
For a very long time. And yeah, I ran security there for a little bit.
Okay. All right, and then so did you like bouncing? I guess is a good term.
No, it's terrible.
It's terrible.
No, it's you go to the bar and the bouncer sees everyone first.
Right.
You're checking IDs, and then they also see every asshole in the bar.
Did you ever have anybody that just walked up to the entrance of the bar and you immediately knew they should not be coming into your bar?
Yeah, that's when you tell them no.
That was going to be my next question. Have you ever turned anyone away before they even pulled their ID out?
Oh, absolutely. If people are drunk or
how drunk do I have to be for you to say you can't fucking come in here?
If you're drunk, you're not supposed to be served.
I guess that's fair.
Legally.
So all right. So what are you looking for? Are you looking for swaying, slurred speech,
slurring words?
Yeah.
If we know you, we might let you in, but
you keep an eye on me, or
yeah. And even then, if I know you, the bartenders know you, so they're not going to overserve you.
Sure. That's interesting. All right, so you started out as a bouncer. You have any crazy bouncing stories? Was there anything that when you think about when I say that, what's the first story or vision that comes to your head?
The first time I ever hit someone while working was actually
I love that chuckle.
It was on Christmas night.
All right. I love where this is going. All right.
A dude spit at one of the bartenders, so we got him out. And this is right after I had to physically carry a girl out while she was scratching at me and everything.
Oh, God.
you know how that bar gets.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So
yeah.
so is the same girl that was like scratching at you? Was she the one that spit at the bartender?
No.
Okay.
This was a completely separate.
So this is all
like,
one hellish
altercation.
night.
Yeah, it was awful. So it's Christmas night. It's cold as fuck, and we get this dude outside, and he just keeps talking shit, and he ends up headbutting one of the bartenders, and then it's just like a 6-on-1, like we.
All right,
escorted
yes,
the guy
right.
out and left him in the street.
Hey, you know what? That's all right. I do have to ask: was it the same bartender that got spat at?
No. Different one.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that bartender had a shitty fucking Christmas.
Yeah.
All right. So was it Christmas Eve or Christmas Day?
Christmas Day.
So actual Christmas Day. So the
Yeah.
evening of Christmas Day.
It was fucking Christmas.
Damn. Just like I just like think about like the things that like make me want to go to that specific bar on Christmas like day night. I either like didn't get good Christmas presents, like my spouse's family was like poopy to me, my family was poopy to me, like
I mean, I would always go because I had homies that didn't have family in town working there.
Absolutely. It's funny you say that because like the very first tattoo I ever got was on Christmas Day, and it's because my tattoo artist had just moved to the city from Bardstown. That's all I'm gonna say. And he was just alone drawing at the tattoo shop, and me and shout out Ryan Bishop showed up to the tattoo shop and said, you know, can you do a quick thing on us? And now, I mean, that tattoo artist has been tattooing me for over half my life. So,
Hell yeah.
So actually, I guess under half my life. I'm not that old. That's crazy. It's just like,
oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. You definitely know. But I just like I can't imagine being a bouncer. But I'm not like super confrontational. But you're not super confrontational either. Like
No.
I feel like you are when you have to be.
Yeah.
But like it's interesting to me because like when I think about bouncer, I don't think of you immediately just because of your like personality.
Well, I think it's the way that I always described bouncing was most people have seen the movie Patrick Swayze Roadhouse. Yeah,
I've not seen Roadhouse.
Bouncing is almost like the way that he describes it to the bouncers that he's training in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, it's always it's be nice until it's time not to be, and that's pretty much how that goes.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and most people can be talked down. Most people
Yeah.
don't like to fight.
Yeah.
I don't like to fight. That shit sucks.
So it sucks when it has to escalate. Yeah, it makes sense. All right,
it's
so
super not fun.
So you started by beating the shit out of patrons and dragging them out of your bar,
No.
and now you are serving your patrons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, beating the shit out of is a strong thing.
I'm obviously being facetious. All right,
yeah.
chat.
I consider myself a
Chat. I'm
decent
being
bouncer.
facetious.
Yeah.
Corey is a sweetheart. If you know him, you know he's a sweetheart. So don't let his large ears and tattoos deceive you. He's a gentle giant.
Yeah, actually, that bar wouldn't hire me until I already had my hands and neck tattooed.
Sounds like
They
Spinelli's.
said I wasn't intimidating.
All right, but so you eventually made the jump into bartending. So so how did that happen?
Well, I was bouncing at the bar I currently work at.
Okay.
And everyone got COVID, and I was the only person who wasn't around any of them for like a week. So I was taught how to open the bar over FaceTime.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I love that. What's the first drink you made? Do you remember?
First drink I made opened a PBR.
Was it for yourself or for someone else?
It was for somebody
Oh,
else.
hell yeah. Hell yeah.
A regular at the bar, yeah.
Hell yeah. So cocktail wise, what's the first cocktail you remember making? Like alcohol plus something.
So while I was like craft cocktails, I used to bartend and work in the kitchen at like a little like kind of divey burger spot in the Highlands. And they had like a small craft cocktail menu, and was like I made like a gin gimlet, you know, and like
oh yeah.
I learned how to make like a Boulevardier and what's the gin one called?
It's not just a gin and tonic, like
No, it's like gin Campari and sweet vermouth. I can't remember what it's called right now.
Yeah, it's okay. No one in chat probably knows either. So.
Probably not.
All right, so let's move to this. So when it we'll talk about being a bartender now. So something that I've always wondered about is, would you say that bartenders are more generous to you or nicer, like the people that are nicer to you, or the people that are kind of more like, I don't want to say that they're assholes, but the people that just come up and like they know what they want, they order in a stern voice, or like they're, and I don't want to say they're like a dickhead about it, but like you can cut, they're not like the polite.
The people that are nicer definitely get better service.
Sure.
I mean, it's like anywhere. You walk up to somebody and you're like, "Hey, what's up, dude?" And they're like, Jack and Coke." Oh, cool. I just said, "What's up?" But all right, cool. Jack and Coke, $7.50. Asshole.
So me. I don't give a fuck how you are, Corey. Give me my check.
If you're nice, like we'll take care of you. If you're an asshole, you will wait an indiscriminate amount of time.
Hey, yeah, I actually respect that. So So would you, and then you might not be able to answer this question, and that's okay if you can't, but we can just wink about it, right? All right. Yeah. So would you say that would you say that you are more generous with your pours to your nicer customers?
Not really. Like, I mean, I work at a dive bar, and you don't know what that means.
You get what you get. It's either going to be a full shot, half shot, or over poured. So,
no. See, that's the one thing is like I prefer using shot glasses. Yeah. Because myself, when I want a shot, I want a shot. I don't want a fucking 4-ounce pour of bourbon because that is a lot to take in one go.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not a sipper.
I feel that. So, not your generous customers. What about your better tippers? Would you?
They get first every time.
Okay. So that's I think that's a good first takeaway. All right. So the first takeaway is always tip your bartenders generously. Don't just tip them $1. Tip them generously.
Yeah. If you're a shitty tipper, I will say something. I have kicked people out. Yeah. For being a shitty tipper.
Hey, listen. We've already know that Corey has experience with bouncing. So the last thing we want to do is not tip Corey. So, all right. So, well, that's good. So we know being a better tipper obviously is going to give us priority over other customers. You might not even be able to answer that. We won't even worry about that. We won't worry about that. So that's good to know. So our first takeaway again: be a generous tipper. Make sure that you're always taking care of your bartenders. So, what'd you say your favorite drink to me? Your favorite drink to make is? What did I say?
Tongue twister. Right?
Yeah. What did I say?
Favorite drink to make.
Favorite drink to make.
Shot of bourbon.
Shot of bourbon. That's it. It's easy, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I really was hoping he would just say can of PBR and just do like a fucking pop twist.
I mean, that's another favorite. It's
the quick ones, the one that like get you in, get you out.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't work at a craft cocktail bar for a reason. Mm-hmm. Like that's not what I want to do.
Well, it's environment, right? Like it's chill, it's down to earth. You can listen to what kind of music you want to listen to. Yeah. You probably have employees that you really like, or like fellow coworkers that you like really get along with. Yeah, like it's that whole vibe, you know. So I completely understand. Yeah. What would you say your least favorite drink to make is?
My least favorite drink to make. So this always happens. The bar will be busy. We'll be like 4 deep, and somebody will be like, "Can I get a green tea shot?" Yeah, you can. But like, is that what you want right now when there's literally 100 people at the bar?
So Bogle introduced me to green tea shots.
Well, see, now listen. So Bogle, that motherfucker will order anything that he wants everywhere because I've seen him make just cocktails super fast. That dude's a bartender. Yeah. Like he's good at it.
Yeah, those so he's the one that showed me green tea shots. I was hanging out with Joe Moss and Andy Pittman.
Fair, yeah.
We went to see Bogle. I think it was at 3rd Street Dive. I'm pretty sure is where it was. And Joe's like, "You ever had a green tea shot?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Oh, Tim makes the best ones." And I was like,
I mean, dude, they are good. It's just like
pain in the ass to make.
Well, you got to pull it out the shaker, and then you got to shake it, and then you got to strain it into the fucking cup.
Yeah.
And like it's not something that I want to do when I'm fucking busy.
Sure.
Like if I'm bored, I'll make you whatever the fuck you want, man. I'm bored. But like when we're rocking, dude, don't ask me for fucking 12 lemon drops.
God.
You know?
Say that, and I'm sure, like, when you're busy, if someone asks you for one of those, odds are they're going to come back and ask you for another one.
Yeah,
And then other people around them.
They're like, oh, that sounds good. Can I get 4 of those?
And then it's like the power of suggestion. It just flows. It goes all the way down the bar.
Yeah, dude. So like, if we're busy and you order a lemon drop, I'm giving you lemon flavored vodka and Sprite. And you're gonna suck it up. That's not a joke.
Oh my god! You know what's funny though is like depending on how far into the night I am, I probably wouldn't even notice.
9 times out of 10, people don't notice. Anything either way.
Yeah.
Like
So,
I know a lot of people when they first start bartending, they don't know how to make anything, so you just make it red. And there it is.
Yeah, I mean, Kendall, you've had drinks I've made before. Corey, you have not. I like my drinks very strong. I like.
Hanging out one day, and he asked me if I want a drink. I'm like, I'll take one. I'm driving. Hands it to me in a solo cup. I was like, this is like 4, bro.
Yeah. So you know how like there's those lines in solo cups that are like suggestions of where to pour the liquor.
Suggestions.
Yeah,
we
say
marks where you're supposed to. And I was gonna be like, nah, those are suggestions.
Yes, everyone does not like my. If you're looking to get fucked up, let me make you a drink.
Yeah, I just said I like it. I just said I had drive.
So yes, I very much love a strong drink. Like we're talking, it's probably going to be like 65-35 whiskey to Coke ratio.
It's 60-40. Don't
Yeah,
That's a lot.
It's
Dude.
60.
no, you probably flip that because like so your normal drink is what? It's probably like 20% Jack, 80% Coke.
It's like an ounce and a half.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I'm like 2.5
ice
ounces, maybe 3 ounces sometimes, and then just fill the rest with Coke and an ice cube. I like one single ice cube.
Jesus.
Yep.
That's aggressive.
Dude, I'm weird. I get like, yeah. If you don't like Jack Daniels, don't let me make you a drink.
Shit ain't good, dude.
God, I love it, man. I don't know. Not to get too far off topic here, but in coming out of high school, I was this close to getting a Jack Daniels bottle on my leg. Almost got.
I'm really glad you didn't.
Well, I still got room on my legs.
That's embarrassing.
Yes, sir.
That's embarrassing. You live in Kentucky, like I said. Drink bourbon.
Whatever. I just like whiskey more, man. I just like whiskey more. Sorry. All right. So earlier you said you became a bartender at the beginning of COVID.
Yep.
You told us a little bit about like how that started. You learned over FaceTime how to open.
Yep.
How was that? Like, I feel like just working in the service industry during COVID was a nightmare.
So, like, there was a lot of extra cleaning.
Sure.
And, like, now we've gotten used to it, so it doesn't feel like extra. But, like consistent wiping things down. Like, if, let's say you're sitting at a table and you get up to, like, go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And I would run over there and wipe your table off real quick. Like, constantly wiping down the bar, the handles on literally everything.
Yeah.
Wearing a mask because I was also working in a kitchen at the time, and dude, the mask in the hot kitchen sucked.
I can imagine.
You know.
Yeah.
You do what you do.
Was it hard to talk to like customers in a loud bar with a mask on?
Yes, because like half of it's reading lips.
Sure.
So like if you can't hear anything, you know.
So it was like. Yeah. Was there like situations where you had to like ask 3 or 4 times for people to repeat themselves?
Yeah,
and, like,
dude,
what they want to drink?
handed out like sheets of paper and pens.
Oh shit!
And then there was the constant telling people to keep their masks on, or we can only be open if people are sitting down. So sit the fuck down.
Yep.
Like,
God, it's like you're almost like a glorified babysitter at that point, you know? Because like you're just staying on everyone's ass, and like I feel like I have like a decent understanding of like. Just trying to get people to keep their mask on, and like I can imagine that because you're coming, so they're coming out to drink in your bar, you know, and so like you can't put your fucking straw through your mask, so that has to come down for a drink.
You have to be in a seat,
right,
for your mask to come off,
right, and so I just see people like hanging out in like seats for way after their drink is gone, no mask, just that's dude, like that sounds super frustrating.
It was, yeah.
So it's gotten better, obviously.
Oh yeah, with restrictions being lifted and
Yeah.
everything, and more people getting the vaccine and whatnot.
Sure.
I mean, we still get assholes, but
Sure. I mean, but you're gonna have that anywhere.
At least I'm
Yeah.
not the mask police anymore.
Yeah.
Which is not fun.
Yeah, I just like I just try to think about that, especially like around alcohol.
Dude, I had a guy at the bar that I was bouncing at. I was like, listen, man, you can't go inside without a mask. If you don't have a mask, you can't go inside. I remember this dude was almost 40 years old, got pissed at me because I wouldn't let him in without a mask. He stood across the street with a gun in his hand and stared at me for 2 hours.
What?
Yeah.
What'd you do?
I mean, nothing.
He just eventually left?
Yeah. Like,
no. What the fuck?
yeah.
People are nuts.
Yes, they are.
Absolutely nuts. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'd be out the back door home. Like
yeah, that's the other thing is like after all the COVID thing, like gun violence is super wild now. So like
yeah, not to take this completely far right and like not I don't when I say far right, I don't mean like far right. I just mean out of the fucking field.
Right.
Yeah. I feel like we could have a very long conversation about that. I feel like I understand what you're saying because you see it everywhere on the internet. You see more people being aggro, more people being aggressive, and like things have changed. Things have changed definitely. So that's crazy. I don't envy you, man. I feel like that those however long that was, a year or 2 years that you had to deal with being like. Lack of a better word, a mask police. Like, I don't envy you. Like, that sounds awful.
Yeah.
Like, super rough.
But I mean, most people I can be like, "Yo, dog, put your mask on." Like, oh fuck, I'm sorry.
So so this is like, so you didn't bartend before COVID. You literally became a bartender during COVID.
Yep.
So you was there ever a point where you're like, I just don't want to do this anymore because of how shitty fucking people were during COVID?
Bartending?
Yeah.
No, dude, the money is so good.
Is it really?
Yeah. So like, it's different when you have the bar separating you from people.
Sure.
Because like, you get good interactions with people at the bar, but like when you're the bouncer, you get all of the bad ones.
Yeah.
Like no matter what, if there's an asshole, you deal with them. So like it's different.
I just remember working retail in like way ever before COVID and just like hating specific customers and like customers pushing me to the point where I'm like, I don't want to fucking work retail anymore. Obviously, we don't work retail, but you've worked retail.
I'm not a nice bartender.
Yeah.
At all.
Well, that's why what separates. That's why what separates you from other people, and you're not afraid to speak your mind. If anything, I feel like the bar that you work at, you're encouraged to speak your mind. So
yeah, I mean, we're nice to people. Like, don't.
Well,
get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like, if you're an asshole, we will tell you to get out.
Right.
Like, and that's, we don't have to ask you again.
Right.
I mean, that's just.
I think it's how it should be. I think it's how it should be, especially like in your industry, because there are too many entitled people, especially when they start drinking, that think they can just get away with anything and say anything that they want to. And those people need to be checked. Like they need to understand, like, you're a human being, you're at work, you're not going to speak to me this way.
Yep.
Like
I do have my other job. I also work at a music venue. I bartend there. I have to be a little nicer.
Sure.
Like out there and like deal a little better with people. But like I don't have to put up with anything like
it's like when I worked at Spinelli's, if I went and worked at Papa John's. Like
exactly.
Yeah.
That's the yeah. Exactly.
I get that. So damn, it's just like it still blows my mind. It's still like I guess I've never really thought about it, Yeah. I was a barista for a little bit, but I'm never a bartender. Those are two like entirely different worlds.
Dude,
yeah.
So you're talking to me about bartending right now, and I work at a dive bar. I work at like a rough dive bar.
Sure.
If you talk to somebody who bartends at like Olive Garden, you're gonna have completely different answers.
Sure.
Or like even like the Irish bars, like in the Highlands, completely different answers than what I'm gonna give you.
It's
so
like an atmosphere thing.
All right.
Almost, yeah.
if you work in an upscale bar like Olive Garden,
or a craft cocktail.
hit me up. I need you on.
Because like I equated like making cocktails, like craft cocktails and stuff, more to cooking than like volume bartending, which is what I do.
Okay, fair enough. So, bar etiquette. So that was kind of like the whole premise of like why I wanted to do this is because like I feel like sometimes I don't know how to act around bartenders I don't know. Like I don't like because I order Jack and Cokes, so I immediately know that I'm that dickhead that orders the Jack and Coke when I come in.
You're not a dickhead for ordering Jack and Coke,
but there's it's like a stigma almost.
Well, no, that's just that like when you order something like Jack and Coke or like a vodka cranberry or like something like that.
Sure.
I'm not like judging you for your drink. I mean, personally, I'm judging you because you're my friend. But like when somebody comes up and they order Jack and Coke, if they look remotely young, that's like I kind of want to check your ID again.
Oh, that makes sense.
Like that
makes
kind
sense.
of stuff.
I see.
That's like one of those go-to drinks, or like an LIT. That's like one of those drinks that kids that haven't been to the bar yet, they don't know about. Like other stuff.
Right. They drank it home with their friends in the basement and they remember Jack Daniels and they remember the Coca-Cola they had with it.
Yep.
That makes sense.
They're like, the LIT has the most alcohol in it.
Yep.
Again, I was 18 drinking E&J and Dr. Pepper, so...
now a sure giveaway if somebody's 20, like fresh 21 or not of age, they'll come up and ask for a lit.
What the hell is that? I've never heard of that.
An LIT.
Oh, a lit?
Yeah.
Wait,
Can I have your lit drink?
Lit?
What? Yeah, lit.
Oh, I thought you said licked.
No,
like
lit.
L-I-C-T?
Like L-I-T.
Oh, that is fucking wild.
Yeah.
Gen Xers out here shortening everything. W. Like...
we do have a question for you.
All right.
Stones8121 wanted to know, do you look forward to Louisville events / major holidays, or are they too stressful?
So
that's Mike
the
Mullins,
bar.
by the
The
way.
bar that I work at, like holidays are cool because okay, so let's say like the day before Memorial Day, which was like
this past weekend.
Sunday.
Yep.
It wasn't too busy, but I was busy enough to make like $400.
Love that.
I was never weeded. Like I was never like behind or like stressed. Now like things like Derby. Okay, so this Derby was the best Derby I've ever worked. Normally at the first bar that I bounced at, it was the worst night of the year. Like the bars are open till 6. There's 1 million people there.
Sure.
So the bar that I work at now, in like cartoons, there's like that little white dude in the big hat, like the big cowboy hat with like a sack of cash that walks in somewhere and he's just.
Are we talking about Doug Dimmadome?
Yeah, essentially. Like, dude, this guy was ordering like Coors Banquets and paying with $100 bill, and that's a $3 beer where I work at. So I'm like, cool, $3, man, and he'll hand me 100 and go, keep the rest. I made almost $900 that night after the split with the door guy and the other bartender.
This man, a $3 beer tipped you $97?
Like 10 or 12 times.
Where were customers like that? Dude, for me, it's Spinelli's.
Dude,
what's happening?
What?
It was insane. I've never seen anything like that before in my life.
You just stare at him and you're like, what?
Doug Dimmadome went to his bar and said, "I'ma bless you up. I'ma bless you."
Excuse me?
Well, I don't ever want to assume that someone's going to tip me super fat like that.
Well, sure.
So, like, I would give him his change back every time.
Yeah, absolutely.
At one point, he had a pile. There's probably $300 in like 20s and like assorted bills.
Yeah,
because he was buying like just single beers or like 2 White Claws for 2 friends, or you'd buy somebody a shot at the bar. And I was like, hey man, just so you know, all of this is yours. And he goes, no, it's not. That's yours. So whenever that dude had an empty drink or like looked up or like made eye contact with one of us,
another one.
like I don't care what I was doing, who I was talking to. If
Yeah.
I was in the middle of making
Doesn't
another drink,
matter.
Like,
Doesn't matter.
drop everything, go straight
Yeah,
back to that dude.
absolutely.
Whatever he wants comes first.
Even if he's not like it's like to the point where like even if he doesn't have cash on him anymore, you're just still just handing him beers because he's
absolutely.
more than paid for it.
Yes,
like,
absolutely. Like if somebody was to give me like a $50 tip or something, like boom, 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 boom.
absolutely,
done.
that's nuts.
Yeah.
Like
But
that's
what-
unheard of almost. I
Yeah.
feel like for like
It was-
$3. Yeah,
But I mean, that's derby. So
Yeah.
like, as a bouncer, hated derby. As a bartender, fire it up.
yeah. Keep it
Like,
going. Run it
yep.
back. Like do it again.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Good
You know
question.
what's gonna
Good
happen?
question
You're
from the
gonna see that
chat.
guy next year, and you're just gonna greet him at the door with one, and you're like, "Here you go.
Just have it open.
Oh
Like,
yeah. If that dude comes back, absolutely.
Let me pull your car around for you, sir."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do I
First
need to
round's
do?
on me, dog. What's up?
Yeah. Hey, good to see you again. Good to see you again.
Yeah.
Your $3 Miller Lite, please take that. Like
Yeah.
here, out of my own wallet. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. All right, so I do want to talk bar etiquette though, because
Okay.
I think that's super important. So again, for me, again, like we were kind of talking about earlier, like when it comes to like when I walk in and order like my Jack and Coke, you know, again, I always feel like there's a stigma with that. So what are things I should do in a bar? What are things I should not do in a bar?
I mean, when you're ordering a drink, just order your fucking drink.
Just whatever
Like,
you want. And
Yeah,
just, yeah.
like whatever you want, and like the bartender will tell you yes or no.
Sure.
Like generally, if I'm busy and you ask me for an old fashioned, I'm gonna tell you no. We like try again. But like I said, if I'm not busy, yeah, dude, you know,
Run
look
it up.
I'll
Run it
make
up.
it for you. Don't order a drink and walk away.
Yeah.
So many people do that, and then I'll turn around and
They're just gone.
yeah,
So how do they get their beer or their drink?
they come back, and they're
Wait,
like,
if it-
"Oh, I
just-
had to walk over there," and I'm like, "Oh,
Did you though?
yeah."
Like, did you actually have to walk away?
Yeah, like
Like-
you just ordered something from me, and I was making it.
So let's
like,
play that. I want to kind of play this scenario out actually. So let's say I
Mhm.
come up to you, order a PBR, just to make it simplistic.
Mhm.
Okay, and as soon as I order the PBR, you turn around. I also turn around. What do you do? Do you put the PBR down,
Yeah,
or
I'll,
do you
I'll like loudly put it down and be like, "Hey, bud."
What if
$3.
what if I'm
Yeah.
like 5 or 6 feet away at this point? Like, what if I'm like, would you yell at me, or would you just have it set off at the side?
I'd yell. I mean,
Really?
Yeah. If we're busy, I would put it on the back bar and just move along.
So would you let that person come back up and just get their PBR, or would they have to get back in line?
Oh, they had to get back in line.
Ah,
Absolutely.
see, that's I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
Like
That's interesting. Wow, that's so crazy that people would just order and walk away.
it happens all the time.
But I just like
I don't.
it doesn't make any sense.
Like if you have to go to the bathroom so bad,
Sure.
why are you gonna wait for me to come to you
Yeah.
so you can order your drink and then go to the bathroom before I've handed you your drink?
Yeah. Just
Like-
to make sure that your drink order's in, but
Yeah.
like,
But I mean, everybody knows rule number 1: never take your eyes off your drink.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what are you doing?
Especially to die bar.
Yeah.
Get no offense,
Well,
but
no,
like,
I mean, dude, that shit happens everywhere.
well, sure.
So you know, it's-
That's interesting. All right, so the second thing we've learned tonight, guys, is if you order a drink, wait for it. Don't just walk away.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you just saw your best friend of 20 years for the first time. It doesn't matter if you really have to use the bathroom. Just why were you in line to begin with? Just wait.
Yep.
Just wait. Wait 2 minutes. Not even that, probably. If you got an old fashioned, wait 3 minutes. Like, who cares? Like,
I think the moral is be a reasonable human being.
right.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Which
That's
might be asking a lot for some people.
It's
It really is. It really is.
That's so interesting to me. I just like I can't imagine a world where I would just walk up to you, order my PBR, then just walk away.
You know, it blows my mind.
All right, so we talked about tipping. We talked about not ordering a drink and walking away. What are some other don'ts? Like, what are some other things that we shouldn't do while we're out at a bar?
Don't snap at me. Don't yell at me. Like if I'm at one end of the bar doing something, like I've seen everyone that comes to the bar.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, at where I work at, you know, sometimes it gets a little slow, and you will catch me looking at my phone. And if you're like, "Yo, Corey," I'm like, "Oh, okay, what's up, dude?" You know.
Yeah, I was
But-
just playing Magic Arena, bro. My bad.
I mean, yeah, sometimes. But you know, like if I'm doing something and there's people at the bar and like I'm actively serving people,
Sure.
I've seen you, you're in line.
Wow.
Like there is a queue, and the moment you walk up to the bar, you're at the end of it.
Sure.
So like waving money or like snapping or yelling for me, I hate that. You will be last again.
It's like
and I will yell at you.
It's crazy how much like just being like a normal human, like a good human being, like how far that can get you in like almost every situation in your life. Like just don't treat me like a lesser human being than you. You know? Like it's crazy how that's even like a concept that you have to talk about. You know?
Some people are just entitled.
Yeah.
I guess, you know.
It's like a lack of patience.
It's insane.
Like imagine if everyone had patience.
Dog.
Like
world would be a different place. Twitter would fail.
I'd probably
Twitter would not exist. Like
because I don't have patience.
Because I feel like that's what like people who snap and like wave money, like you were saying, like you've acknowledged the fact that they're there, and it's just they have no patience whatsoever.
And
so
like,
it's like what you were saying, like they're entitled.
And I'll generally tell people like, "Yo, I'll be over here like the moment I can."
Sure.
Like especially if I'm by myself, dude. Like I'm bouncing around to whoever got there first. It's like a stop sign.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like and so those situations, especially when you're by yourself, you would think that people see you by yourself,
No, they don't
see
care.
the stressed look on your face, and would be like, "Oh, you know, he's having a rough night. He's by himself. Let's be patient with this guy."
Yeah, no, people don't care. They don't
Not to give me my fucking Miller Lite
care.
now.
Yeah. And like, dude, there's people like that come to the bar and don't tip. And like they continue to come to the bar. And we'll be like, "Yo, fucking Bud Light no tip just walked in, so he's last."
Love that. So
we do remember that. And
if
what
you
do
don't
do.
tip, they remember. So this kind of circles back to our first takeaway. Make sure you tip your bartenders, because if you don't, they know and they will definitely remember.
Yep.
So good. That's a good takeaway. All right. So my next question. So you hear a lot about bartenders being compared to like therapists, you know, especially on like slow nights. Would you say that's true? Like
in my experience, like I'm not one of those bartenders that like. There are regulars that I like, and there are regulars that if I'm not working, I'll sit down and have a beer with, you know. But I don't really concern myself with like what's going on with the regulars or anything like that. I don't want to deal with any of that, you know, like drama
sure.
or whatever. But honestly, we don't really have a lot of drama like that. Or if we do, I've completely fucking ignored it because I don't care.
I don't even know if it's like necessarily drama. You know, it's more of like Hugh had just an awful day, just like one of the worst days I ever had, and I went to your bar and sat down, was like, I just need a drink, Corey, and just started like venting to you about my day. Like, does that happen?
That will happen, like I said, with friends and like friendly regulars.
Gotcha.
But I don't really put up with stuff like that from
People you
strangers.
don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't have
get
time
that.
for that. Like, that's not what I'm there for.
Sure.
Like,
I get that.
you want a beer? I got you, dog. Like,
I don't want to know that you lost your house because the stock market crashed.
yeah,
Like,
I don't know. Straight up, I don't.
That sucks.
Like,
Just did you tip me? All right, you didn't. That sucks.
Yeah.
All right. Now, not only did you lose your house, but now I'm mad at you. So,
I mean, absolutely.
The classic double whammy.
All right. Well, I was going to lead it into that and ask if you've had any like regulars or anyone like tell you just like crazy stories while they were like venting to you. Do you have anything that like that stands out to you where like a regular or maybe a non-regular has just told you some just like outlandish, ridiculous story while like just venting?
I mean,
if it's personal, you don't have to go into it.
I've heard some crazy shit, but
sure.
A lot of that is like stuff from friends that like I'm not gonna.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I mean, I've had people say insane things to me, but not in like in like a I'm getting this off my chest or like I'm venting type of way. Like,
God. All right. Well, fair enough. All right. So when Corey Holt goes out, what is your drink of choice?
Depending on where I go, if I'm going like somewhere nice, like let's say I go out to fucking Barvetti for dinner.
Sure.
Like I'm gonna sit down and my first drink, I like gin. So what is that gin cocktail, dude? It's driving me insane because that's the one that I actually like. What is it called? The Boulevardier it's the same thing.
So what's in this gin drink? Just tell us about
it's equal parts gin, Campari, sweet vermouth.
Okay.
And I cannot. It's a Negroni. That's what it is.
Negroni.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then other than that, I'm gonna order Miller High Life.
Hell yeah.
Shots of Fernet, which is like the fucking industry shot.
You're not a Malort guy?
A what?
A Malort?
Malort?
Yeah, Malort. Sorry.
So at the bar that I work at, we have a Malort shot that we do, and it's called a Turbo Lover, and now everybody knows where I work. So I work at Mag Bar.
That's all right. Well, that's all right.
That's out of the bag.
We went 42 minutes without giving it away, so there we go. And the last 5 minutes is when you fucking trips up.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It's going strong for 5 minutes.
Yeah, right. it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, I'll order shots of Malort, but normally it's like beers and shots of bourbon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not like one of those guys that's gonna go order wild shit.
So you introduced me to something that I really, really enjoy, and I'd never had it before until we had a Hearthstone tournament.
Bourbon and Mountain Dew?
No, well, so that's all right. We can get to that in a second too. We can get to that. We can get to that in a second. Brass Monkeys. Colt 45 and orange juice.
Dude.
So
yes.
For those who don't know, Corey and I both really enjoy a game called Hearthstone. It's a card game on your phone made by Blizzard, etc. Well, I used to run Hearthstone tournaments here in Louisville at a local bar called Kaiju. Shout out Kaiju.
Yeah.
We would get there really early. So our tournaments would start at like noon, 1 o'clock. And so Corey and I would get there at like 10:30, 11. So before noon, usually on a Saturday or Sunday morning. And what better way to start your day at a bar than with orange juice and Colt 45?
Yeah.
And I just never heard of it. Yeah, I saw Corey order. I'm pretty sure I like ordered a beer and then saw Corey get that and immediately rescinded my beer and immediately also ordered a Brass Monkey. And man, I remember like the first day having it, I had 3 or 4 in a day. I wasn't drunk. I had like maybe like a light buzz, if that. And it was just like, it was I enjoyed drinking them, you know? It was like light, refreshing.
Yeah.
Man, Brass Monkeys are fire.
Man. when me and Xander lived together, we used to go to the liquor store on 7th and buy them out of 40s, a Colt 45, and just sit on the back deck and drink Brass Monkeys all day.
That sounds this just sounds wonderful. Like even like a warm, like hot summer's day, just sitting outside with some orange juice and Colt.
Perfect.
Man, love that. But yeah, so another thing you taught me was Mountain Dew was invented to cut whiskey, right? Well, not invented, but
I don't know. I don't know that for a fact.
Yeah.
I've heard that a bunch. What I do know is that Mountain Dew and bourbon, it's fucking awesome.
It is very good. It is
so
very good.
So good.
I learned that at Gen Con. Yeah. It was wonderful. It was wonderful.
Delicious.
So we're learning all kinds of drinks tonight. All right. Well, I want to open it up to questions. Does anybody have any questions that they would like to ask Corey about being a bartender, bar etiquette, etc.? While we wait for anyone to potentially put a question in the chat for Corey, do you have anything that you would like to shout out or promote?
I mean,
we already gave your
Mag
bar
Bar.
away.
Yeah. Come see me at Mag. Headliners in Louisville. We do a lot of cool shows at Mag Bar.
They do a lot of cool shows at Mag Bar for sure.
Lots of metal, lots of hardcore. 502shows.com.
Hey,
Yeah.
502shows.com.
Yep.
I can link that in the comments after this.
Yeah,
502shows.com.
The guys that run that and LDB, like the music label and everything, those guys do a lot for local music, and it's super cool.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, I don't think we have any questions in the chat. So we're going to wrap it up. Corey, thank you so much for coming out. I really appreciate it. I definitely learned a lot today. I will make sure the next time I come see you at Mag that I scream at you and throw money or wave money at you until you serve me.
I would prefer that you didn't.
Okay.
That's fair.
The headline of the local news will read bartender haggles customer.
I'll get the joke and I'll probably cuss at you.
It's okay. It's worth it. It's worth it. He spits in my Jack and Coke.
I would
like-
never do
he said-
that. I would never do that.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you on the next episode.